Hi, so my name is Roxanne. I'm just gonna give a brief presentation about like different things that I learned throughout the course. To start out, this was my first time using Photoshop. I had previously used, um, well, very briefly, other types of softwares. I didn't get, very far with them, but I did know a little bit, say, about like Manga Studio or Paint Tool Sai, although I didn't really, um, probably not, uh, they were probably not of like the caliber of Photoshop. So being able to learn about Photoshop and stuff, it was pretty cool. I was really excited to be able to learn more about how to use that. Um, I think the favorite thing that I learned throughout this course was, um, in particular, how to grab, say, like the references. Um, Grabbing something like this, something that is very organic, very natural, um, and then creating a concept that then kind of turned into something else. I really enjoyed that. Um, I am particularly proud of this piece in particular. I really liked how it looked. I feel like there were a little things that would have probably made it look better, but definitely one of the nicest things I've made. So I was really proud of this one. Um, there were a few things, a few tricks that I learned throughout the way that kind of helped me understand more. Like, for example, I really liked um, being able to work with, say, like the layers, and also learning how to use different brushes to create different effects, and also kind of learning how to use those brushes, um, because I feel like at one point it sometimes starts looking kind of muddy, or it starts not looking right if it's kind of not used right. But for example, I really enjoyed being able to learn how to use the layers to work in a non-destructive way, and making changes to the piece, and being able to not be afraid if you're gonna mess something up if you did something that wasn't supposed to, or you weren't supposed to. But um yeah, like for example, say like this kind of mossy kind of aging on the trees right there. Kind of played with that one for a little bit. I wasn't sure if I should or not, but I ended up keeping it. I liked how it looked. Um, but yeah, I really like how you can kind of learn how to use the layers, and then in conjunction with all the different brushes to create, say, like a basic layout, and then setting it kind of a little bit more on stone, then adding the shading and texture and color and other types of details, and um, finally like the lighting and kind of thing. It really brought it all together. I really enjoyed that. Like for example, with this one over here, um, this was something that I was working on. I think it really helped with being able to learn how to use the layers, like for example there, being able to break a little bit more, figure out which one I like the most. Um, Also, say starting with a kind of structure kind of thing, then working on that and getting that kind of out of the way. So that worked pretty nicely. That was not the one. And then kind of adding more kind of shading and kind of lighting kind of thing. I really like that kind of trick. Or for example, with this dude over here, say this was one thing that I kept kind of trying to figure out if I wanted to do it or not. Kind of if I wanted it to have glasses, if I wanted him to have a beard, or if I wanted him to have both or none. Then I kind of just decided on that one. So that's pretty cool. I really enjoyed being able to learn how to use the layers like that and kind of help get a little bit more organized kind of thing. Finally, let's see. So I really like learning about Nuke and Unity. I did see that they have had a few like similarities with Photoshop in the sense of, say, like the organization by layers kind of thing. It is very layered on here as well. With Unity, I found that it was pretty simple to just kind of put that in there. With Nuke, I did have a little bit more trouble just because of not being sure how to connect it to the correct nodes. And then finally, the file had originally saved somewhere else, and then I had moved it, and it just making errors everywhere. But I feel like that was probably more of like a technical error more than anything else, or an error on my part. But other than that, after that, I figured out that it was actually pretty simple. So I really liked that. It was a challenge for a little bit, but then I figured it out. I really like how it turned out. And I really look forward to being able to learn more about about Unity and Nuke and how they work and how I can apply it to other things. Let's see. So I really like that. Finally, let's see. I think one last thing is about, say, like the principles and elements of design. I think I was able to apply some of that on here, or a lot of that on here. Being able to know how the lines worked, how the color, contrast, all of that work. I do think I have a little more work to do. I want to be able to learn more about, say, like color, value, shape, form, to be able to become a better artist and see that in my work, essentially be able to get better in that. But definitely being able to learn about those things is like very, very important, particularly because those are like the guidelines to be able to, become a better artist. In particular, be able to understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, and make sure that it looks cohesive and concise. So that is pretty cool. I really enjoyed this course, and I'm looking forward to being able to learn more things in the future. So I'm really excited about that. Thank you so much.